This time on Casino Royale with cheese.
The week before, I was in beautiful Puerto Vallarta for 4 days and 4 nights. Plus, it was a family-inclusive resort that we were at. And so it turned into a situation where I was like, can you move your stroller away from the bar? I'm trying to get margaritas for everybody. That sort of thing.
And now, the conclusion.
Houston, we have a problem.
I have a really bad feeling about this.
A boy's best friend is his mother.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Nobody puts baby in the corner.
Roads? Where we're going, we don't need roads.
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
Silent Green is people!
Yo, Adrian! Adrian!
Let's put a smile on that face.
I gotta warn you, Clark. They don't play the same games here as they do at the regular casinos.
Royale, too.
Milf! Milf! Milf!
Coming to you live from our studios in East Lansing, Michigan, it's Casino Royale with Cheese, starring your host, who one time at band camp put a trombone up his ass. It's Shane Burns!
Thank you, everybody. My ass was swollen for days after that. And it was the bell part, too, not just the mouthpiece.
Oh!
So. Yeah, it was unpleasant. This is Casino Royale with Cheese. This is episode, it's pulling up, episode 77, Mike.
77.
That's crazy.
7.
Yeah. Yes, but we discuss movies that were number one at the box office exactly 20 years ago. And my name is Shane. Today I'm joined by the man who actually doesn't mind a little head in his beer. This is Mike.
Jizz beer.
For the gross out comedy stuff, I think that's probably the best one that they had to offer in this movie. I think. So.
I mean, it's a pretty hardcore gross out.
Yeah, that's pretty nasty, drinking a jizz-filled beer. And they do like a close-up so you can actually see like a string of this nut in this beer. It's really unpleasant, And then it makes me think of, I got this buddy, he said that his grandma used to drink this called Hennessy Cream Ale. And he said that it would give her like the worst diarrhea, but like the words cream ale make me think of that for some reason.
Oh.
So yeah, pretty bad. How's it going, buddy?
Chilling. I had to work on the 4th of July. Happy 4th of July to all those out there.
Yeah.
So I had a lot of working doing this weekend, but the last couple of days I've been just chilling.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Way to go, Mike.
You can definitely see where I've been sitting all weekend on my couch.
You gotta get a little indent.
I do.
Yeah. So I've actually stayed pretty busy. I had the kids last night. And of course your wife was over, and they actually, whenever your wife and your sister-in-law are over, it's a huge help. But last night I was flying solo, but I still managed to clean up the house some, so
Good job, Shane.
overall success. Brownie points with the wife. So yeah. Anyway, we are talking about this week. What's that, Mike?
American Pie.
American Pie. I take it you've seen this before.
Oh, only a couple hundred times or so.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
What's funny is this is actually like a favorite franchise of my dad's.
Oh, really?
Like, he's got them all on DVD. He's watched them so many times.
My dad would not like this that much, I don't think.
Our dads are a little different.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I'd say so. No, it's a good one. What's weird is I didn't actually watch this movie series, I want to say, until like probably close to like 2003-ish. So
Was that when the
yeah, I
sequel was
watched it
coming out
after.
by then?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that American Wedding even was already out by that point.
They did like
So.
bang them out pretty quick.
Yeah, they did. And there's still a little lingering talk here and there of doing like, because quite a bit later they did the American Reunion, I guess.
Yeah, they have American Pie, American Pie 2, American Wedding, American
Wedding.
Band Camp, and then American Reunion.
Yeah, there's a bunch of spin-offs in between in there, but yeah, American Reunion was the next official one. I guess they're talking about potentially doing like American Vacation, where they all vacation together. I don't know.
But they're all old enough now that they would have kids that would be
Yeah,
fooling around.
right. I actually, going back and rewatching this again, I need to sit back and I think rewatch the sequels, because American Wedding, that one's kind of a wash. I don't care about that movie. It was stupid. But I do like American Pie 2 quite a bit. And I remember thinking that was one of the first time me and my wife had been to the movies when we were just dating, was American Reunion. So I tend to think that I need to revisit all of those movies.
The
It's
only
been a
thing
while.
I can remember about American Pie 2, and I might even be wrong about this, but it's when Fitch has like studied like the Kama Sutra and his ability.
Yeah, and like tantric sex
Yeah.
and all this shit.
That's all I really remember about the second one.
They end up getting this cabin on the beach and like spend their first summer back from college together. And anyway, it turns out that this beach is pretty close to where they're conducting band camp. And I guess the Allison Hannigan character is there as like a counselor or something like that. And he goes there because he finds out that Nadia is going to come back into the United States, and she apparently is coming to this big party that they're throwing for the end of the summer type thing. And he wants to get sex tips from Allison Hannigan on how he could improve his game, I guess, a little bit. So if he has a chance to hook up with Nadia, then he's going to be, King Dingaling. So, but it's contrived a bit, but that's okay. It was still pretty funny.
Okay.
Totally down.
But we're not talking about the sequel today. We're talking about the first
No.
one.
We're not. I actually did a pretty good impromptu synopsis of the sequel. So, but yeah. Have you watched any of the crappy spinoffs?
Not that I'm aware of.
Yeah, I think I caught one of them on TBS back in the day, but I actually am going to go through like a list because American Pie, the producers did this weird thing where they basically insisted that on making these spin-off movies that really hadn't very little to do with American Pie, except like maybe Eugene Levy was like hanging around, and so he was free one afternoon to shoot a couple scenes, So it technically is the same universe. But so we talked about how they did American Pie. We talked about how they did American. Oh gosh, what is that? American Pie 2. They did American Wedding. In between that, though, we had American Pie Presents in 2006 was The Naked Mile, which I have not seen.
I don't think I've seen that.
No. They did American Pie Presents Beta House, which came out in 2007.
Didn't see that.
And, yeah, they did American Pie Band Camp, but I don't know when that one came out. Like anybody could possibly care.
I don't think I saw that one either.
Yeah. Needless to say, though, these movies were notorious. They were straight to DVD, and they were just notorious for basically the producers using the American Pie thing as a quick cash-in, obviously. Just stamp the name on it, fucking call it a day. So,
Go cash your check.
Yep, that's pretty much how that went. Anyway, let's look at the cast real quick, because we got a bunch of people that haven't done a whole lot. We got Jason Biggs. He plays Jim Levinstein. We've got Shannon Elizabeth playing Nadia, the Russian
Shannon.
foreign exchange student.
Oh, man.
very healthy young lady in this
She
movie.
takes her vitamins.
So. She does indeed. She does indeed. Allison Hannigan plays Michelle Flaherty. Chris Klein plays Chris Oz Ostreicher. Let's see. Eugene Levy is Jim's dad. Natasha Lyonne is Jessica. She's the one that is on Orange is the New Black, if you watch that show.
Yeah, she has another like series that she came out with.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's on Netflix as well. Oh, what's it called? Huh. She basically like dies and then relives the day again. It's kind of like Groundhog Day.
Oh, kind of like what's that? Happy Death Day or whatever.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, interesting. I don't know anything about it, but I'd be interested. I find that whole like time paradox stuff pretty fascinating. Of course, I like Star Trek, so you know. There you go. We've got Thomas Ian Nicholas plays Kevin Myers. I always thought he kind of looked like somebody in Hollywood. I almost want to say I think that he looks like he could be like related to Jon Stewart or something.
I thought he kind of looked like he could be like a cousin to Freddie Prinze Jr. or some shit like that.
Yeah, maybe I could see. He looks like somebody, but I can't quite nail it down.
I couldn't tell you anything else he's ever been in.
Yeah, no, me neither. Well, back in the day, I think that he was the kid that was in like Rookie of the Year.
Oh.
Or maybe it was a kid in King Arthur's Court, one of those like shitty like Disney baseball movies that came out in the 90s.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think he's the kid that had the broken arm.
Yeah,
Was that
that's
Rookie
what I
Year?
was thinking. Right. Yeah, I think that's the one. Chris Owen plays Chuck Sherman. I don't know anything about Chris Owen, but if you told me that he was the same kid that was the bully in Christmas Story, I would 100% believe you. So
Yeah, he looks just like
saying.
that guy.
Just like him. And it's not just the red hair. Their facial features are almost identical, you know?
Yeah,
So,
it's really weird.
yeah. Pretty strange.
I think I thought that was the same guy, actually.
I'm going to look it up. I've never actually looked that up, which is really surprising to me. We also have Jennifer Coolidge playing Stifler's mom.
Mm-hmm.
So, yep. I actually just saw her recently. I was rewatching Click when we were in Mexico, and she's in that.
You're on vacation
She
and you
plays a
watch
hoe
Click.
for show. Yeah, the wife went to sleep, so I was stuck trying to find something in English. So, yes, sir. It's kind of funny because, as we mentioned, Jason Biggs will cross paths again with Natasha Lyonne. But a lot of these guys, like Allison Hannigan, she was on like How I Met Your Mother. She's been in, the Buffy the Vampire Slayer TV show. But now she's kind of washed out, so she's doing like hosting Penn and Teller Fool Us.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chris Klein. I think he was in that one movie where he was supposed to be with Heather Graham, and he comes to find out after they had sex and everything that she could be like his biological sister. So, yeah, I forgot what the name of that was. But like a lot of these guys, I've never seen it. I think Tara Reid was in one of the Sharknado movies, but like, none of these guys have been in anything, noteworthy.
Was
especially.
American Pie Tara Reid's only like franchise that she was part of, really?
You would think that she would have been in some shitty 90s thing like I Know What You Did Last Summer, but I don't think she was.
She wasn't. That was Sarah Michelle Gellar and Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Huh.
So.
But you feel like, because Tara Reid was like such a hot number there for a second, I feel like she was part of more, but I guess she wasn't.
Yeah. Well, I mean, was she into modeling?
I don't think so.
I don't remember. Yeah, I can't think of anything else because everybody knew who she was.
I mean,
but
we got, what's her name? Mira? Is it Mira?
Oh, Mira Sorvino. Yeah. Plays a little choir girl.
Yeah, she was in American Beauty.
Yeah, she was. And then she basically dropped off too.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because she was actually pretty good in American Beauty. I would have thought she'd have gone on to do something else.
She was definitely one of the better actors in American Pie.
Yeah. Oh man, we're gonna have to talk about that because it's bad, dude. Let me do a summary real quick, and then we can go into like some box office stuff.
All right, do your summary, buddy.
Okay. American Pie, released July 9th, 1999, is the gross-out comedy of the summer that is just barely a comedy and just barely grosses you out, especially by 80 standards. It did spawn a slew of sequels and a bunch of lame spin-off straight-to-video garbage. So that's a thing. After witnessing the aftermath of a social outcast deflowering, 4 virgin high school seniors make a pact to lose their virginity on or before prom, which is only weeks away. Jim, the sort of narrative thread of the film, sees opportunity literally knocking on his door when the aesthetically pleasing Russian foreign exchange student shows up for quote-unquote tutoring. But as soon as Jim leaves his room so she can change after practice, she begins masturbating. Excuse me, I have a dry throat today. My bad. Of course, Jim is a sexual predator, so he set up his webcam to watch. Upon seeing this, of course, he walks into his room hoping to get freaky. She acquiesces, but the mere prospect of sex is so enticing to him that he comes in his pants.
Twice.
Of course. Of course, he's publicly shamed, and what's worse, his broadcast was sent to the whole school, but Jim is far more concerned with his own social status than the Russian girl whose life he just ruined. In his desperation, he asks the local band nerd to prom. Fortunately for Jim, she's a freak and fucks his brains out. Paul, the pretentious douche of the group, gets torpedoed early on when popular jock named Stifler gives him laxative in the middle of the school day. His story concludes with him being standoffish at Stifler's prom after party and gaining the interest of Stifler's mom, which ends up with them fucking. So there's that. That's 2 for 2 now. We got it going. Friend number 3 is Oz, who joins an a cappella group to get a shot with a choir girl. He pretty much seals the deal when he chooses to sing in the competition instead of playing in the lacrosse finals. 3 for 3. And Kevin is friend number 4, who has the least interesting story by far. He loses his virginity to his longtime girlfriend, and then they break up since they're going to different colleges. 4 for 4. Make no mistake, though, John Cho makes up this school's entire ethnic diversity. This film stars Shipwreck and Jim. The end. But, yeah, that's basically what it's about.
Yeah, it's not a very deep film.
No, it's definitely not. I commented in there about how this movie is not that big of a gross out by 80 standards. And that's definitely true. If you've seen like Porky's or something like that, this isn't anything, you know. Not even close to
Animal House.
Yeah. Even the
Revenge of the Nerds.
It came out just after this. Revenge of the Nerds is a big one. That's a good one. Right after this, the movie Road Trip came out with Tom Green and all that shit, if you recall.
I do.
Breckenmeyer. That one I felt like pushed the limit more than this one did. But maybe that's just me. I don't know. It seems pretty tame by today's standards.
It is.
The only thing that made me pretty squeamish was the whole like drinking the cum beer. So
Well, and then of course, 20 years ago, the highlight of the film for me was definitely when Nadia is, topless in Jim's room. But
right
now as a grown man, and I think about the fact that dude was like broadcasting her over the internet, it's pretty fucking creepy.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. I'll tell you what's awkward is watching that scene with your wife. Because you're constantly in your head like, am I looking too long? Because I don't want to look like I'm not looking on purpose, like pretty crazy. And I don't just want to stare at this woman's breasts either. So
they're perfect.
Yeah. I'm sure she paid good money for them, but it was money well spent regardless. Do you want to do some box office numbers real quick?
Sure,
buddy. And then we can really tear this bad boy open.
Okay.
So as far as this movie is actually made on a budget of $11 million.
That's pretty good.
So that's not bad. See, a movie like that with a super low budget, it's almost a guarantee that it's not going to bankrupt your company, So Just saying. Not everything has to be $300 million, Hollywood. But do you dare to guess how much it brought in the U.S. overall, Mike?
$60 million.
No, it brought in $102,561,000.
10 times the money. Hell of a deal.
Yeah. And then overall, whenever you add in the overseas, all told, it was $235 million.
Damn.
So, yeah. Do you dare to guess how many weeks it was number one?
2.
No, it was only number one for 1 week, actually.
I was going to say 1,
yeah.
but I've said 1 several weeks now.
Oh, yeah. I hear you. 1999 was weird like that. It was a week where that sort of thing happened pretty often. A lot of number ones for 1 week. I actually wrote down Tara Reid's career, blech, because that went nowhere. Not to say she was any good, because she really wasn't. But
Yeah.
I need to get this off of my chest right now. But
Okay, go
I
for
do
it.
not like. I don't like Paul Finch. I don't like his character at all.
Yeah, I could tell in your synopsis you called him a what?
Something. He's a
Something douche, pretentious douche or something.
Yeah. Oh, the pretentious douche of the group. Yeah. So this guy's the one that he's obviously better than everybody. He like rides a moped to school because he's superior to everybody.
I think you're so
he-
far off on this, by the way. Go ahead.
He brings his own little thermos of coffee to school because all the kids at school drink coffee because obviously you're just trying to draw attention to yourself. But he doesn't want to drink any coffee that might be available at school in the off chance they did. He has to bring his own shit to school,
Mochaccino.
Right. Just everything about him. And it gets even worse in the next movie because now he does martial arts and wears a kimono and he does hangs out at the dojo. Oh, now he's doing tantric sex and all I can talk about is fucking Stifler's mom. And just shut the fuck up. The only reason this character exists is for the joke at the end about fucking Stifler's mom.
Well, shit.
Otherwise, I think this dude is a douchebag, but that's just me.
Well, I think you're off. I think he's just an eccentric kid.
Yeah.
He's just different.
Maybe that's the problem I have because I've always found blending in works just fine for me. And so it was the deal where, says the guy that's doing a podcast, by the way, although we are blending in quite well with the other movie podcasts, so we'll give it that.
We're flying right under that radar.
Yes. Yep. We are not drawing attention in any way. No, so this guy, he does all this pretentious crap, and it obviously just kind of comes across to me is he wants people to notice him and inquire about him, and he's super mysterious, And I just think it's bullshit, and people like that really I find obnoxious.
He's just an old soul, Shane. Just an old soul.
He's just a jerk, but anyway, what else did I have here? Have you ever had to do that, Mike? Try to watch through the scrambled porn?
I do remember, but I didn't watch it. I think we would watch it to see oh, there's a boob. Mm-hmm. But I wasn't trying to masturbate to it or anything.
Right.
Not that I was above that. I just didn't try that.
I hear you. Fair enough. I think that Chris Klein, who plays Oz in this movie, he is so bad to watch. I don't think that there is one
terrible
line out of his mouth that was convincing.
He is terrible in this movie.
So bad, dude. So bad. It is irritating. And I've always thought that. But for some reason, it's just bad to the point of being annoying right now for some reason.
He's a handsome kid. And obviously that's why he got the role. But god damn, his acting skills are terrible.
He's got nothing going on. So bad.
Jason Biggs is believable.
Yeah, he's fine.
That other guy, Kevin, he sucks.
Well, I don't think that his acting was necessarily that bad, but he has no point of being in the movie. There's nothing interesting about him. He doesn't contribute anything. He fucks his girlfriend at the end of the movie. Congratulations. That's not an interesting story.
No arc at all.
Getting the girlfriend is interesting. You having sex with her is not.
Yeah, and the Chris, his character, and Mira's, damn it, what's her name in the movie?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't.
I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Their
Choir
story's
girl.
like somewhat interesting, you know, from two different places or two different parts of the school, and they come together and they actually have like a nice relationship. That's okay. Stifler's character is great.
He is pretty amusing. I
mean,
like him.
He makes you laugh more than anybody else does in this movie.
Some of his one-liners are so funny, man. I don't know why he's not in more stuff.
He had a
Because
little
he's pretty
run.
funny, dude. He did. We were just talking.
Role Models?
He in that? He was in Role Models. Was he the one that was in that fucking Dukes of Hazzard movie?
I want to say he was.
Yeah. That movie gets a lot of shit, but I don't hate it. I'm just going to say. Although I never watched the original Dukes of Hazzard either.
He had his little moment in the sun. He got some movies out of it. Let's see. Finch. I know you hated his character. For me, he was just this little eccentric little nerd. I actually knew some kids like him in high school, and they were that's just who they were, man. They weren't trying to be pretentious. I'm trying to think of who the other characters are. Oh, the Bandcamp character? Golly. But
Michelle?
Yeah, they nail it with her,
Yeah.
though. Like, because they make her this really annoying, this one time at Bandcamp girl over and over and over again. So when they flip the switch on you, you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah. And what was great about it was in all the trailers for the movies, they kept featuring her, but it was only when she was talking about Bandcamp shit. And so, like, you really don't even see it coming, you know, in that.
That's what she does the whole movie.
Yeah. It's
At
pretty
Bandcamp,
awesome.
at Bandcamp, at Bandcamp.
Right.
And then next thing you know, she's like, say my name, bitch.
What's funny is when I was in school, I don't think I ever really traveled to any band sort of functions or anything because I was in the marching band briefly. But anyway, apparently there was some freaky stuff that would go on during whenever they would travel to do like parades that were far away or what the fuck ever. They were staying overnight. I guess there was some crazy shit that would go on these trips. So yeah, back then pretty accurate. These guys were playing finger puppets back there, you know, on the bus. So
I was in the marching band through the 8th grade, and then when I went to hye school, I wasn't in the band anymore. I chose sports. Right. But when I moved to Oklahoma, the girl I dated, she was a flautist in the band. And they would go to like the Fiesta Bowl every year in Phoenix and do like the big thing there. And it was always over New Year's break, and I remember them coming back, and they had so many stories.
It's bad, man.
It was crazy.
It's real bad. Those some horny kids right there, dude.
There was this one girl whose name I won't say, but she was like one of the pageantry girls, like the flag. Mm-hmm. And there was a lot of stories about her.
Oh, man. Yeah.
And after that trip, she attended a few of the house parties that I went to. Mm-hmm. And I tend to believe the stories were true.
Oh. You saw some indicators.
Yeah.
Showing it might be, yeah.
Considering that she's the girl who introduced me to the game Chicken.
Oh, okay.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
I believe I do.
It's like where you put your hand on your, for lack of a better term, opponent's knee, and you slide your hand up their thigh until they say chicken.
Oh, interesting.
Okay, she didn't say chicken ever.
That's hilarious. I don't think I ever played chicken.
And I would chicken out every fucking time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I had a girlfriend.
Oh, yeah. Well, I could see that being a problem.
Like,
yeah.
So me and another guy lived together. My parents moved halfway through my... No, I guess they didn't move halfway through my senior year. It was right after I graduated. And I lived with my buddy until I left for boot camp. And
Right.
she would come over there all the time trying to like get me to do things with her.
Uh-huh.
Super aggressive about it. Kind of scared me.
Well, Mike, I don't know how to follow that up.
This
I don't
woman,
know what to
this
say
girl
about that.
jumped on my back like a spider monkey and like tried to put a hickey on me in the middle of my kitchen in front of my mother.
Really?
Yes.
What was Mom's response to this?
I don't remember exactly what she did. I think she was probably like, okay, calm down now. I can't recall exactly what her reaction was, but I remember being mortified.
That's pretty hilarious.
All right,
I like it.
Enough about that young lady. I hope she's doing.
Yeah.
I hope she's doing well.
Poor thing. Yeah. Found what she's looking for.
I got a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Did this movie found the term MILF?
I don't think so. I think it popularized MILF.
So you think it was already out there?
I think in another 2 years without this movie, MILF would have been a thing. But this movie accelerated that process.
Big time.
Yeah, big time. Big time.
Because I know
And who said it was John Cho? Fucking Harold.
mothers I like to fuck.
MILF. Yeah. But John Cho, he was in this. That was before he was anything popular, famous. Yeah. Shannon Elizabeth's accent is stuff of legends. It's so bad.
I never noticed it.
That's fair enough. Mike was not paying attention to that.
Dude, I was so in love with Shannon Elizabeth when this movie came out.
Really?
I thought she was like the perfect girl. Like, you gotta remember, man, I was 20 years old.
Oh, of course, yeah. She's a very pretty lady. I'll say that for her. So, Mike always says I'm super creepy, so I'm just not gonna go there. Oh, goodness. She was in an episode of That 70s Show that fucking cracks me up every time I see it, man, because she's supposed to play this woman that works at the library or whatever, and Ashton Kutcher's Kelso keeps talking about how he scored with her at this Molly Hatchet concert, you know? Mm-hmm. And the whole time she denies it. She doesn't even acknowledge that she knows that he exists or whatever. And so at the very end of the episode, everybody's making fun of him because they're like, it never happened. You're full of shit. And so anyway, at the end of the episode, she comes in and she's like, Kelso, I got to talk to you about what happened at the Molly Hatchet concert. And he goes around to the house and just yells, burn, to everybody. Because now he has proof, you know, that she's pregnant. Or that, well, I just read the joke, but that they had sex. And then she's like, I'm pregnant. And he's like, I never touched her. It's pretty great. Pretty hilarious. But anywho, I think those might be the...
Was she in some movies? Other movies?
Man, I think so. I don't think I've seen her in anything else, though. I think that... So, Denise Richards was in a James Bond movie in The World Is Not Enough. And I always confuse that with Shannon Elizabeth, because I think they would have done probably about as good an acting job, you know? Either one of them.
Oh,
but
Shannon Elizabeth was in Big Brother or Famous Edition or whatever the hell they call that
like
shit.
Celebrity Big Brother?
Yeah, Celebrity Big Brother. She was in Celebrity Big Brother last summer or last fall.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
She's been in American Pie, Scary Movie, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. She also was in horror films such as Jack Frost, 13 Ghosts, Cursed, and The Night of Demons. She's also starred in Dancing with the Stars, Celebrity Big Brother, live nude comedy, Cuts, Catch a Christmas Star, and more.
I've actually seen a bunch of shit with her in it.
Yeah.
Believe it or not. Like 13 Ghosts, I didn't remember her being in it, but I don't really remember much of that movie anyway. So, but, yeah. I didn't realize she's in Big Brother. That could have been interesting if I would have watched it. But I didn't.
It wasn't.
Yeah. I wrote down, it's kind of funny how the significance of sex changes with age. there comes a time when you've had sex so much that it's no longer this holy grail type thing, and you're just like, oh, cool, That's pretty neat. I always look forward to this, and that's about as excited as you get. Or I do, anyway. So
Think that comes with marriage.
yeah, I'm pretty sure that's probably true.
When you've been sleeping with the same person for several years.
Yeah. Not to say it's bad,
No?
but yeah, there's just the anticipation dwindles a bit. So I wrote down things that Finch does to irritate me. Drinking his fancy coffee while reading his newspaper at school.
It's not coffee,
That's
Shane.
a douchebag move. I don't give a fuck what it is.
It's
it could be
mochaccino.
camel piss. Okay, awesome. His moped. After the party, his brandy snifter. That's a douchey thing. He has a golf club that he's assembling. That's a douchebag thing for a high school kid to do. He has a flask that he carries. That's douchey. And his James Bond tux with his Converse All-Stars is pretty douchey.
Oh, you're such a hater.
I know people that really like those Converse All-Stars, but I'm just saying. I think that this guy just rubs me. Everything about him rubs me the wrong way. So I thought it was weird that they talked about how Oz was getting involved with the jazz choir, but they never sing any jazz.
Well, they just sing that one song.
Right. Do you believe in magic? And then I love the part where he starts like fucking freestyling at the end. Like he just got so wrapped up in the fucking music. What a douchebag. Oh, it's so stupid.
He fell in love fast, too.
Yeah, he did. He sure did.
He definitely targeted the right girl.
Oh, yeah. She was all about him. Yeah. And he knew like exactly what to say to get on her good side and all that shit. Yeah. I wrote down these characters are mostly pretty shit, but I think we've talked about that. I wrote down the choir shit is unintentionally hilarious. And I also wrote down Jim's dad is super cool about Jim fucking a pastry.
His dad's the best.
Jim's dad's the best character in this movie by far, man.
He deserves an award for like Dad of the Year because he's a great guy.
He really is. He's super understanding. Like he's kind of like strict, but he's kind of down with all this crazy shit that Jim's putting him through. It's pretty fantastic.
We'll just tell your mother we ate it all.
Yeah.
My dad would not have reacted like that if he would have come inside the house and I was mounted on top of the kitchen island.
And I'm
balls,
bare ass fucking a pie.
balls deep in an apple pie.
Yeah. Oh, man, it would have been such a different conversation.
Oh, your house. Holy shit.
Oh, God. Oh, yeah.
They would have sent you away to some church camp.
They'd still be praying about that. So. Let's see. Oh, Sherman. He's kind of an asshole, the Shermanator. But I do like when he pisses his pants.
Yeah, he
at
got
the
his
end of the movie.
comeuppance.
What an idiot. Have we ever talked about prom before on this show?
I don't know.
I think if we have, people might remember that. Excuse me. I did not attend mine, and I think I was at home playing GoldenEye. If I had to guess.
Winning at life, you were.
Yeah.
Well, then if we discussed it, then people would also remember. I went to 4 of them.
Oh, I think we have talked about this because I remember you saying that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of weird that Jason Biggs and Shannon Elizabeth show up in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. Both of them. It's pretty strange, I guess. Let's talk about this whole situation with the webcam and Nadia.
Okay.
Because we've kind of tiptoed around it a little bit, but apparently Nadia comes over for some tutoring, and Jim sees this as an opportunity for her to change clothes in front of his webcam because she's coming in from practice, you see. And so anyway, I don't think that is necessarily a good characteristic is filming a girl while she's naked without her knowing about it. I'm just gonna throw that out there first.
Pretty sure
of all.
it's illegal.
Yeah, it's a pretty scummy move too. Even if it wasn't illegal, it's definitely wrong. So,
And broadcasting
along
it
with
to the
that-
entire school.
he thought it was a group of friends, but it wound up being the entire school. I don't think that makes it any worse. I mean, still sending it to your friends, that makes you a scumbag. So, whether you accidentally send it to the school, I mean, that's pretty fucking bullshit, but you're still scummy either way. So,
Yeah, pretty shitty.
yeah. So then she starts masturbating, and then he decides that he's going to walk in on her whenever he knows full well what she's doing in there. So, definitely kind of also a scummy sort of thing.
So I don't think that part's as scummy, honestly.
Okay.
All right, like
That's
the videotape, 100% I'm on board with you. It's all kinds of wrong, all right? But if there's well, let's just say a girl. I don't have to make her a super hot girl. There's a girl who's in my room who I know she's in there changing, but then somehow I get a hunch that she's in there playing with herself to my nudie mags. I feel like that's an invitation.
Okay. I mean, that is true. And Jim kind of goes through that reasoning in his head, too, there for a second. He's like, there's a naked girl in my bed. And then he's like, holy shit, there's a naked girl in my bed. What the fuck am I doing? You know?
Yeah.
That sort of thing.
And I could be totally wrong. That may not be an invitation. But
Yeah,
there's no way my teenage mind would not have thought about it that way.
that is true. That is true. I just thought it was weird because she's like, I gotta change. And he's like, that's cool, I'll go downstairs. And then starts masturbating. Seems really strange to me.
She was in no hurry to change.
No, she was not. She was definitely not. I wrote down Tara Reid. Watching her simulate losing her virginity is really awkward. I almost want to skip that part of the movie because it's just really strange. Makes me uncomfortable. I guess.
The whole thing with all of them losing their virginities was weird to me.
Yeah, it's really not. I don't want to see that. I'm good.
Jim, that part was funny.
Right, because she's just throwing them around, kicking shit. Yeah, that's pretty funny.
She left an inflatable T-Rex in her place.
Right. That's funny. I like Michelle. She's a good character. I'm
So,
totally down.
That one was fun. The rest of them were really awkward.
Yep. The band that played their prom looks fucking busted, dude. Those dudes are whack.
Especially when Blink-182 goes to your high school. Did you notice that?
That's true. Yeah, I did. That's fucking crazy. I hadn't quite thought of that. Why wouldn't they have them playing instead? But fair enough.
Blink-182 in 1999.
They're huge. That was their heyday, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was like right after they did All the Small Things and all that shit. Yeah,
Take off your
it was a big
pants and
deal.
jacket.
Mm-hmm. I wrote down playing the Simon and Garfunkel whenever Fitch and Stifler's mom get it on is pretty great. The Mrs. Robinson shit.
Oh, yeah, totally
That's
appropriate.
pretty awesome. Yeah. And I think that's pretty much it, man. I don't have anything else to say about this shit. I mean, I like this movie. It's fun. It's not as funny as it used to be. I'm a bit more desensitized because there's so much crazier shit that's come out in movies since then. Like, nothing in this movie compares to, like, Walk Hard, watching Will Ferrell take a flaccid dick to the face. You know? It's not nearly as groundbreaking by comparison. So, I don't know.
Oh, it's fun. It's a fun little movie.
Yeah. It is fun. And it's a good nostalgia trip because this is right around the time I would have been going through high school. Yeah, so.
Shannon Elizabeth takes me right back to 1999.
Yes, sir. I was a little bit later, but shit wasn't that different in 02. Minus the 9/11 stuff. Which was significant, but whatever. So, anyway, you like this one, Mike?
Sure.
I'm looking forward to the time when we're going to sit back and talk about American Pie 2, because I'm actually excited to watch that one now. So if you like this sort of thing, if 90s teen nostalgia trips are your thing, then you'll probably like this. It's got a couple laughs. It's a good time. Did you watch anything this week, buddy?
I know I did, but what I did, I couldn't tell you. I watched a lot of documentaries.
Anything worth noting, or?
I watched the LA riots, LA 92, I think it's called, on Netflix.
Oh, okay. After like Rodney King and all that stuff.
Yeah, and I lived through that, so.
Oh yeah. Oh, you were right there in the thick of it, yeah.
Well, we didn't live in LA at the time anymore, but my mom still worked in LA.
I gotcha.
The brake lines on her truck were cut, so we had to go pick her up in the middle of the riots.
Oh wow.
It was pretty wild.
Pretty crazy, yeah. I'd say so. I finished up Nurse Jackie this week. If anybody out there has Netflix and you kind of like drama, I recommend that show because it's good, man. It's a pretty short watch. It goes on for 7 seasons, but each episode or each season is only like 10, maybe 12 episode tops, and each one's only a half hour, so it's not too in depth. But it's a good show. It's got good characters. The storyline's great. And it's kind of disappointing because the way that it ends, I feel like it's the right way for the show to end.
Well, don't spoil
it's
it.
Just, yeah, it's pretty crazy. We'll just say that. So
I'm excited for my wife to get home because Stranger Things came out with season 3.
yes, it did. And I haven't got to watch a minute of it, but I plan to soon. Me and the wife, we also started watching the newest season of Big Brother.
Yeah.
And there's that.
Yeah, we've been watching
So, I don't really care about any of the characters yet. We still got to get a few weeks in before any of them stand out, I think.
that. Yeah, it's early on.
Yeah. Anyway, do you have any final thoughts regarding American Pie or anything else, really, Mike? Or do you maybe want to know what we're watching next week?
I definitely want to know what we're watching the next week.
Yeah, that'd come in handy. Well, we talked about the director before already. Do you dare to take a guess as to whom it might be?
That's no clue for me at all.
Think Tom Cruise.
Think Tom Cruise. Wait, for the director or for the movie?
For the actor, the lead actor.
Tom Cruise. I don't know. Vanilla Sky.
Nope, but that actually was a pretty good guess because I think that was within like 3 years of this one coming out. Maybe even 2 years, but any other speculation or have we bored everybody enough?
Give me another hint.
Well, if I give you another one, it's going to give it away. But we'll say Stanley Kubrick.
Stanley Kubrick. And Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Oh, Eyes Wide Shut?
Yeah, that's what we're watching.
Oh, okay.
Listen, I was going to say Nicole Kidman, but that also would have given it away. So
I would have said Days of
they were
Thunder.
only in a couple things together. Yeah. Oh, well, there you go. Your brother would have been proud. So, so there's that. Looking forward to. Y'all are a bunch of weirdo perverts watching kids have sex, and next week we're gonna watch people get whooped. Or it's not really whooping, but they do have sex parties in that movie.
Orgies.
So, yeah, y'all are a bunch of weirdos 20 years ago. What the fuck? Anyway, if you would like to, you can always reach us. If you have any thoughts regarding this or anything else, you can contact us at cheesymovie@yahoo.com. You can look us up on Facebook, Casino Royale with cheese, all separate words. You can check us out on Instagram, on YouTube, or iTunes, or wherever else you happen to get your podcast from. Casino Royale, W Cheese, all one word. And Twitter, who cares? And that's going to do it for me, I guess, Mike.
That's all I got.
All right, everybody. Well, thanks again for joining us. Make sure you join us for Eyes Wide Shut next week, and we'll see you then.
Bye.
I'll be back.